When people are inspired by place,
anything is possible.
How does Piggott create places that both inspire and drive results?
Teamwork.
Together, we share our design knowledge,
Our experience.
Our creativity,
and our attention to detail. We work together to support your project
Realize your goals.
and help you better meet the needs of today without compromising the needs of tomorrow. Ready to elevate your space?
Let's work together.
Well, hi everyone. Welcome to our home. We are the Hallstroms. My name is Donna.
I'm John.
And it's nice to have you here today. John and I have lived in this house 9 years, and we're the third homeowners. We weren't necessarily looking for a new home when we found this one. I had been just surfing the internet looking at different architectural styles. We had been living in Sherman Hill, and we lived in a 1911 four-square that we had filled with mid-century modern furniture. John's a huge fan of that era of furniture. Though we weren't unhappy with the home that we were in, we kind of felt like we had bought all the furniture, now we just needed to buy the house to go with it. And that's when we found this time capsule in Indianola. This home was built in 1977 for Glenn and Marietta Bowles. The architect was David Block, who did the custom build for Colonel Bodge Bowles, as he went by. The Bowles family were just getting ready to relocate back to Indianola from Washington, D.C. He had relocated his family to Washington, D.C., where he was tapped by President Ford to lead or direct the clemency program. And so it was upon his retirement there that he decided to move his family back to Iowa. That's a little bit of the history about the house. We are real excited to be a part of this tour. It's been a very pleasurable experience. One of the best things that's happened so far out of it is John and I have been able to get connected with David Block. David went on to have an entire career teaching at the School of Architecture at Iowa State University. And when we moved into this house, one of the treasures that we got were 2 sets of the blueprints. So we knew who the home was built for and we knew who the home was built by. I took just a chance to see if maybe I could find David Block, and I was able to find him pretty easily. So I shot him an email letting him know that John and I had bought the house and how excited we were to become the new caretakers of this beautiful home that he had created. He emailed me right back sharing that he was quite excited, that we were excited, and that someday our paths would cross and maybe we would get to meet each other and talk about the home. And just a few weeks ago, he came and visited us for the first time, and we had a wonderful 4-hour visit about the home, and David shared a lot of the stories with us that came along with the creation and stories about the Bowles family and his experience. He's going to join us on the Zoom call, and so you'll all get a chance to visit with him at that time. So John and I will get started. Just lead me around the house now. When we first walked in the house, we just loved this atrium. Loved this little bridge that came across here. Kind of a carryover into the house from what you see when you first drive into the driveway from the street. When we were visiting with David, he said that was all done purposeful. And he started as soon as you drove into the driveway off of the street, you'll notice the bridges. And then as you approach the front door, coming down that front walkway, again, that feeling of a bridge. And then entering into the home, again, seeing this third bridge. In the atrium, about a 30-foot ceiling here, we have this rubber tree plant that we're pretty sure has been here since, very, very early on. At the bottom of the atrium, there are open soil beds. So if you would keep pouring water into that soil bed, eventually out in the center of the yard, there's a drain pipe where the water would then overflow into. But we figure what happened with this rubber tree plant is when it was originally planted in a pot, eventually it did kind of a, what do we call it, an Audrey 2, and broke out of its pot, and its roots just rooted into the soil.
When we first walked into the house, we loved the view. I mean, it was just instantly, you could see to the golf course, felt like you were up in the trees, and the floor to ceiling windows just really caught our interest. And this room had a wood burning fireplace in it. We never had natural gas here, and so it was all electric. And we felt like wood burning, it wasn't for us, and so we decided that we would put gas inserts in. So we had gas line run into the house and 2 inserts, one up here and one down the lower level, installed. And so we did a little retrofit to this area to incorporate a TV and that. But it's generally where we watch TV and spend most of our time here. But one of the things that we did was we opened up the view between the kitchen and the living room. That was pocket doors and a solid wall there, and we kind of wanted to open it up, and so we did that. That was probably one of the biggest architectural changes that we did to this particular space.
We like the feel of this room, just having a big open space. We're not really ones for needing any formal dining room space, but it is nice to have this area to use as more of a display area, and then just a great place to take in this wonderful view of the Indianola Country Club.
This originally was a deck, and at some point it was created to be a 3-season porch, and my wife had always wanted a 3-season porch, so this is one of her favorite places, and she loves to come out here with a book and just enjoy the weather and the view. When you come through the 3-season porch, you'll see that we've got a little seating area out here. We grill, and this is where we love to spend our late evenings with a cocktail or a beer. And then because we love outdoor spaces, we created a deck. To get to the deck, this was really steep slope, and so I had attended an auction that had a bunch of granite slabs, and so I was able to buy them, and so now we have this nice lovely little easy step out to our deck outside that we just love the time that we get to spend out there.
This is our little kitchen. I had never had a galley kitchen before, but now I'll never give it up. I love having a galley kitchen. It is quite efficient. In here, other than the fact that we opened up the area between the kitchen and the front room, really is very original. We replaced appliances, but all of the cupboards are in their original state. Have this cute little kitchenette here that we use all the time. I love all of the built-in storage that is here. A complete pantry. It's never a lack of storage in the house. We replaced 3 types of flooring in the house. We put the cream carpet in all the carpeted areas, and then in the areas that had vinyl that were upstairs, so the kitchen, the sunroom, and our bedroom, and the hallway and laundry room, we laid down this cork flooring, which is a really nice product.
Well, we have skylights in several different places in the house, and then 2 atriums do help with the lighting in the other areas. And when you see the house from the outside, they're the things that stand above the flat roof, and so it gives it some presence and a little more detail than just having a flat roof.
This is our master bedroom. My favorite thing that I like in here are just all of this great closet storage and the built-ins. So that's nice to have in a master bedroom. We have access that takes us out onto the sun porch from that door. And then over in this corner, we have an ensuite, which is also a really nice thing for this space. We've decorated it in the mid-century modern flair. John found this great furniture set at an auction. I'll let him talk about that. And these great lamps that he's been holding on to for 40 years, I think.
I just love the style, and happened to find these this 3 pieces at an auction. The lamps I purchased many years ago. Just love the look of them. So
we love the fact that in our bathroom we have at least the original tile that is in the shower.
One of the things that we noticed was particularly high-end fixtures in the bathrooms, and the toilets and the faucets were all Kohler brand, and in one of them, they're gold-plated and kind of a step up from just a normal, everyday faucets and that. We have wall-mounted toilets, and when we first moved, Donna wondered why would they have wall-mounted toilets, and now she loves them because she doesn't have to clean around the base of it. So they're much more practical for cleaning. They have a great look. We have a sunken tub in the other bathroom, and we kind of think that that bathroom was special for one of the daughters of the original homeowner. And so on the blueprints, it's referred to as Dorothy's room. And so we kind of think that maybe she asked to have a sunken tub, which is kind of unique. One of the great things about this house that caught our attention immediately was all the textures. We have exposed brick that has never been painted. We have rough cedar that has never been painted, and they work really well together. And one of the purposes we learned from David Block was that he wanted it to be masculine, but yet not too man-cavey, but kind of sophisticated masculine. And it really works. And the lines, having these horizontal cedar boards, and then having the ceiling have a texture is just something that caught our eye, and we just loved it. We both love organic textures, and we've tried to decorate the house with a lot of pieces that kind of show raw wood and stone and metal.
Well, on the blueprint, this room is noted as Dorothy's bedroom. We believe that was a young daughter of the Bowles family, but for us, we made it into our laundry room so that we could achieve the whole living on one floor idea and not having to go down to the basement unless we wanted to. Love the storage again in this room. There's very similar to what we have in the bathroom and the kitchen. The skylight lets in the natural light. We also want to show off some of our funkier collections that maybe don't go in the main part of the house. So we have our ashtray collection in here just to kind of give this room a pop of color that where the other rooms are more muted. Okay, we refer to this room as our den, just a little quiet spot to get away to. One of the features in this room, it has 2 of the, I think we have 11 pocket doors in the house. So it just makes a nice little spot to get away to. On the blueprint, it is originally called out as a bedroom, so it has a closet. I've taken this closet, and with John's help, we've converted it into what I call a cloffice. So it is a space that just has our computer and files and a place to do bills and that sort of thing that I can easily hide away. Oh, hi again. Welcome to our lower level. One of our favorite things about the lower level are these plant beds. I talked about them a little bit when we were upstairs, and you saw the top of the rubber tree plant. Now you can see where that all starts down here. It makes a great place to house our greenery, and in the winter time when we can't keep our plants out on the sun porch, we bring them down here and kind of max this area out.
So many houses, the lower levels are the cooler places in the summertime, and what we tried to do is we have a gas insert, and so we leave it on all winter long, and so it's a lot of times it's the warmest place in the house, and so we spend a lot of time down here just relaxing. Down here we had to have a little bit of repair work done through the years, but nothing that was too major to, kind of break the bank. But we've tried to put more pieces or newer pieces to our collection of furniture and incorporate them in down here.
But it really is a workspace. We spend a lot of time down here doing a lot of crafts, doing a lot of projects. Right now I'm working from home, and so this is the space where I really loved the idea of having a house where my projects weren't going to be on my dining room table. And that's our old house, that was the workspace, and so if you wanted to clean it up, you really had to put everything away. And so that was one of the things I liked about the idea of this lower level, is that we could have a working table and we could just keep the projects out. So here's the gift that one of the gifts that we were given when we bought the house, and that's a copy of the blueprints. So that's been really fun to get to own along with the house.
When David Block designed this house, he was very much interested in energy savings, and it was the late 70s. And so if y'all remember, gas shortages and long lines, and everybody was trying to conserve because it was really, really important. And so he came up with this idea in this house to incorporate, I believe he had 5 panels that collected heat from the sun in water, and then that water would circulate through the house and it would disperse through the HVAC system to create a much softer impact and save money with the energy consumption of this house. Along with this house just being electric, this was a primary source of heating, but it was very complicated, and so they had continual problems with it, so they had to pull it out. And so now we have a heat pump, and so we're still electric, but a little bit energy efficient. But the other thing, that when we came here, the siding is all cedar, and it was tired, it was ready to be replaced. And so because I was a freelancer, I was able to commit to Donna that I could have the house completely finished in a year. Right after we moved here, I took a full-time job, and that year turned out to be about 7 years. But we finally got it done. About 75 to 80% of the siding in this house I replaced and then painted, and just did every little detail that I could to make it weather tight and last for years. And so that's one of the things that I'm the most proud of, is that we took a house that was pretty much an eyesore, with the siding was falling and there was a lot of rotted pieces, and we were able to get it put back together again, and hopefully this will last for another 50 years for the next people that come behind us. David Block had referred to this as wood sculpture architecture, and that was his definition of this style. When we first came to look at this house, as we were driving down the street, it just, as you see the house, it's just striking, and it captured my attention immediately. The extreme horizontal of the building and how it kind of sets into the topography of the land, that was by intention. David wanted it to do that. It kind of just unfolds itself to the west, and then upstairs with the glass, and you walk into the house and you get to experience the views and the location.
When people are inspired by place,
Anything is possible.
how does Piggott create places that both inspire and drive results?
Teamwork,
Together, we share our design knowledge
our experience,
our creativity,
and our attention to detail. We work together to support your project
realize your goals,
and help you better meet the needs of today without compromising the needs of tomorrow. Ready to elevate your space?
Let's work together.